Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all of the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined, as always, by my brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Today, we are talking about part. What impression was that? Was that an accent?
Is it an impression? It wasn't an impression.
Okay, for some reason
I'm doing all right.
I was like, I know that wasn't McConaughey because that would. I know you have
McConaughey's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, you have a much better McConaughey. I was like, what was that? Sorry.
I was just talking.
I don't know why I let it.
I was just talking back here, boss.
Today we are talking. It's a segue. Terrible segue. So we're talking about part 4 of Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi, directed by Deborah Chow and written by Joby Harold and Hannah Friedman. We only got 2 more episodes left after this one. What did you think? Well, before we dive into like the plot, the nitty gritty, what were your initial thoughts of this episode?
Look, I liked a lot of this episode, but I hated so much of it too. Which is becoming how I feel about this show so far, but not to be spoilery. How did you feel about this episode?
I guess similar. I mean, I feel like this is my favorite episode so far of the show. But there was an explosion. There were some things that, like, because I do think that this episode was, shot a little bit better in some places. But in other places, but also I just think that the set of the base that they're holding Leia in is actually it lends itself to some really great lighting, just like from the design of it.
I have a theory about what you just said, by the way.
Okay. But yeah, just like the aesthetic.
Well, why you think this one looked better? Like everything looked better on this episode as opposed to the other episodes. I have a theory about that.
And I do like some of the action sequences that we get, but some of the things that have irritated me about the series on the whole are just continue to be present because the story continues, and those elements are still in the show. So those things still kind of bother me, but overall I think this is like my favorite episode of the show. And it kind of makes me curious of how it's going to wrap up in just like 2 more episodes.
So, yeah, this episode looks better is because of the spacing. Like, they've been spacing these shots out too wide. But This is a mostly CGI set that has to be, not mostly CGI, but the building itself, the structure itself is mostly CGI, right? Like, then that has to be very large as far as spacing and scale. And then the what do you call it? The runway, if you will, of the base when they like fly into the Inquisitors base. That's huge. That has to be massive. So everything's big scale. A lot of things to fill up the space in that space.
Right.
Because you got people walking around, you got ships all over the place, bombs and shit loading up stuff. And then we got a little scene under the ocean. Shout out to Naboo. You know what I'm saying? We got Obi-Wan going in the ocean. So that has to be big. But then everything else becomes really small. So there was no attempt to have large space because they're in tight corridors through the rest of the episode, basically. So with that being said, they kind of had a cheat code. They had no way to fuck up what they've been fucking up.
Right. Yeah, like they definitely used the space a little bit better. Like
I think they were forced to, though. And I don't think that they did it on purpose. I think that they just ended up doing it.
Yeah, and it does lend itself to the like visual storytelling of like showing the Empire as this like imposing force, like this larger than life. I really like the shot of like Obi-Wan, like you were saying, swimming underwater, and then it cuts back and you can see how small he is compared to like the base that he's swimming up to. But little stuff like that was really, really cool. But to get into like the plot of this episode, it felt kind of like this was the shortest episode so far, I think, and the plot felt kind of movie of the week is, I mean, not movie of the week. Sorry, monster of the week, but in a good way. I'm not saying that like to be disparaging.
This is the monster of the week.
But this is just like a nice, fun little action episode. It was like, Obi-Wan's got to go.
No, it was a
Obi-Wan's
rescue mission episode. You know, it was a fucking heist film.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know?
gotta go get that thing. Yeah, and the end of the last.
That's heist music.
Yeah, like every movie made like post 1999. Yeah, had that song. But yeah,
here comes Mark Wahlberg with some cats.
He's got frosted tips. But
yeah,
like
that movie? I forgot
at the end of the last episode, Leia's got caught by Reva, so
right, she's still in custody.
She's in custody
of the dark side.
So Obi-Wan and Tala have got to infiltrate the Inquisitor stronghold on the ocean moon of Nur, and they got to go rescue Leia. Which we get. There's where we get. While they're hatching their plan, we get the cameos from O'Shea Jackson, Baby Ice Cube, and Maya Erskine from Pin 15 as Sully, one of the pilots that does not die. Spoilers.
You can figure it out. Which one is he?
What did you think of the O'Shea Jackson cameo?
It was bad.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was not good.
It was just weird. Like, it was just funny how like he convinced himself to.
It was really bad. Yeah, he was like, "I'm not gonna help." But then he was like, "You don't even know what I've been through. I'll help you." Fuck you. Fuck you. Don't you tell me what to do.
He's like, "Shit, I just reminded myself that that my wife was a Jedi. Damn,
you know
I like
what?
Jedi."
When you said,
you know what?
When you said something about I don't know what they can do, I was just like, you know what? I do know what they can do. So, fuck you. I am gonna help you.
I was
okay.
I was half expecting them to cut back to Obi-Wan and him be like, "That was easy."
You didn't take much convincing.
Didn't take much convincing. Oh, no, that sounds like
that was Ringo. Definitely Ringo Starr. You didn't take much convincing. How did we go from Ringo Starr to George Carlin?
Yeah,
I just want to know how did that? Why? How?
All the Beatles.
How do you fucking do that?
One thing I will say, because like I know it sounds like I've been.
Or was it George Carlin to Ringo Starr?
It was a Ringo to George for sure. I hit a Ringo hard. I hit a hard Ringo.
Dude, I loved Carlin so much. Shout out to that Carlin documentary on HBO.
Oh man, I still haven't watched it. I really want to watch it.
Jesus Christ, it's amazing.
But to damn, what was I about to say? Like,
so we were talking about how bad Leia is. I mean, that's not what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to say before, because I know it sounds like we've been shitting on the show, but before I get like into any of the things I didn't like. One thing that has been consistent about this show is Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. As you know, he's great as he ever was. He slips into the role seamlessly. He still feels like Obi-Wan from the prequels.
But why wouldn't
just
he?
Like an older version.
This is why we wouldn't got him, right? This is why we didn't recast, right?
Yeah. I mean, but we've all we see actors phone it in, not really care, but you still see that he still cares about this character, and he's acting his ass off.
Hell yeah, they ain't let him play him in 20 years. You goddamn right he cares. He's like, shit. I've been trying to get back in the goddamn fold ever since y'all got bought by Disney. Y'all don't even call me. Don't nobody want to call me.
And I feel like this Disney Plus, like the success of everything, definitely helped them get the ball rolling with this, because it does seem like they would never. It would take them a lot longer to make a movie out of this if that was just the only avenue.
They take more time, is what you mean.
They do. Yeah, they take more time, and for good or ill, we're getting a lot of Star Wars on TV, and I think that just helped.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think this was. It's just like it's like this, man. We can't like everything, right? We can't love everything. But our job here, for you people who are listening, like and subscribe. What we do is to make sure we be honest with what we're seeing. And we hold people accountable. Now, of course, no, we're not famous, we're not rich, we're not powerful, we're not influencers, but we are viewers. And we do pay money to watch the content that these people put out. And so we have the right to criticize. And that's all we're doing is just holding them accountable. Look, there's parts of this that are written very beautifully. Certain parts of dialogue is just on point. As a matter of fact, I would argue that a lot of Leia and what's her name, Rivas, their dialogue. There's nothing wrong with their dialogue. I saw it on Mr. Sunday Movies. They were talking about it, and they were like, give it a break. Maybe it's the writing. Maybe it's not her. And let's watch the whole thing first, right? Let's not talk. Let's give her a chance,
right?
Let's wait till the whole show is over, and maybe we'll find out. Maybe there was a reason she was acting like that. Maybe there was more to it. And I'm like, yeah, there's more to it, all right. She's not good. Now, I understand why he's saying it, because they're looking at it from the outside in, like, hey, man, why y'all being racist towards this black lady who's just an actress and she's acting? That's all she's doing. I agree with that. If you're mad at this actress because she's black, and you are an idiot.
Yeah.
If you just mad because they got at least 2 minorities that used to be Jedi and now they're Siths. An Asian and a black person. Well, get over that shit. You're so stupid, you couldn't even wait 15 fucking minutes, wait 2 hours, maybe 3 days, 3 episodes to say, I just don't like her acting. Because there's plenty to not like. There's plenty to not like.
Yeah.
Way beyond her blackness. Way beyond her being a female. Like, you guys are fucking stupid. But please, don't feel like you can't criticize these 2 actors because they are one a child and 2 a black woman.
Yeah. It's I don't want to get into honestly what bothers me the most about these 2 characters is the characters. I feel like they're kind of unnecessary and just detracted from a better show. I feel like Reva killed the only interesting Inquisitor. I was like, damn. Now we're stuck with Reva.
Well, his character is probably still alive. Most likely.
Probably,
still alive.
His
species has 2 stomachs.
Oh.
Aha!
Really? I did not know that.
Didn't technically need the last one.
Yeah. And they got some crazy ass technology out there.
And Darth Maul got cut in half. What's her name got cut in half.
Mm-hmm. And I actually read an article recently where, basically, the writer all but said that
he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive because,
but he didn't say he was still alive. But he didn't say that he was dead.
Right. Well, yeah, because he was basically because he's having flack.
About the canon.
About the canon. And he was like, well, just don't worry. Just, wait till you see everything.
Shut up. Get out my mentions. Quick sending me death threats.
So yeah, he's definitely gonna show up at the end.
Yeah, I think so. He's gonna chop this bitch's head off or some shit. Something's gonna die. These people aren't gonna live. Is all I'm saying. Darth Vader's promised Reva her death. If she fails, she will. She will.
Yeah.
Or maybe Darth Vader's the one who fails, right? Maybe she brings Obi-Wan to Darth Vader. And Darth Vader the one who loses him. Because clearly he's not good at keeping him either. He lost him to a brush fire. Obi-Wan done gone out to go get him this baby girl. Because that's his goddaughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you talking about, boy? I'm about to come out here and cut heads off. So he forces these people who are basically garbage men to go to this fortress of Inquisitors. Did we get a name for the place?
No, it's just the Inquisitors stronghold.
Okay, I'm gonna call it the Fortress of Inquisitors.
Yeah, that sounds official.
Fortress of Inquisitors. That's my dude from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, which guy?
The kid, the little kid.
Oh,
Fortress of Inquisitors.
Gene. So yeah, like while Obi-Wan is like in the Fortress of Inquisitors, he finds like the vault with all the crustified, fossilized Jedi.
Oh yeah,
have, like,
I thought you were gonna
trophies
say socks, and I was like, what? That's gross. But yes. Amber fluid, gelled, dead homies.
Yeah, very.
But he kept looking at him like he knew him, and I've never seen any of them. So
it's like I know we don't.
Why we gotta sit with all these niggas' faces if we've never seen any of them? I've looked on the internet. I haven't seen anybody say that they knew who any of them were, except for one, and he didn't. That was a stretch.
Yeah. Who
the old. The older looking lizard looking guy. And yeah, somebody said that the black dude was Mace Windu. Like, no, nigga, you think that they would not show Samuel L. Jackson? They would waste Samuel L. Jackson's image on being shown in a shadow that you had to freeze frame for a millisecond.
Bastards. Somebody saw a black person that was like, that's Samuel L. Jackson.
That's Samuel L. Jackson. That's him.
Yeah, it's a weird flex to have just a bunch of just dead people in your basement, or like I guess fossilized.
No, the theory is on the internet that that's part of the like they were trying to clone Jedi, like they were trying to clone the Sith. You know, like they were trying to clone. That's like they was doing the stupid storyline that they ended up having at the very last 30 seconds of the Last Jedi. Yeah. I can understand if you are wondering what the fuck I'm talking about, listener, because I'm still wondering what the fuck I'm talking about.
Raz Skywalker.
Clones, dog. Clones. Yeah. You blew up the clone planet. None of this makes any sense.
The Rise of Skywalker is a whole other.
You can't make up for that Star Wars. Can't make up for that Disney.
Whole other bag of apples.
So then we get this weird scene. Well, we got the old-fashioned "let's break in" scene. I'm gonna need to see your credentials scene taking place.
Right. Where this actress she gets some shine. Like I've really liked her these past couple of episodes.
I think they're getting the biggest checks. They're clearly
cha-ching.
Clearly they're getting the biggest checks, right? I mean, look. We see them all the time.
If this was a movie, she'd be on the poster. And she'd be right next to Obi-Wan. Poster.
Back to back of Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Looking good.
with
a dress on for no reason. She ain't got no dress the whole movie. She got a dress on in the poster.
It'll be like the dress that she wears in the celebration, the last scene. She holds up a big glowing orb for some reason. But yeah, what did you think of the fight scene in the because Obi-Wan finally, we see him get his ass whipped in the last scene episode.
Yeah, but then he
by Darth.
Then he said,
this scene, he got his groove back.
The lights. Light a lightsaber.
Yeah, he was nice with
I'm
this
gonna
episode.
chop all of you and you and you. He chopped up them niggas, bro. He was killing them. That was a dope scene, right? Cut off the lights, came up, bow, got my girl Leia. Bam, we out of here, boy. And then he out here fighting to the death, all the way up out of here.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Even though, it was really, really cool. Sorry, I'm not gonna criticize this. Sorry, but I really, really liked, the cutting off the lights and the lightsaber.
But we skipped. You were skipping the interrogation.
Oh yeah, because it was very forgettable. It was a very forgettable scene.
It was forgettable for you.
Oh, sorry. What did you think?
I had to live through it. It's burned and etched into my memory for all times. I didn't skip through it, which I normally would skip through something stupid like that. I would usually just skip it and lie to the people and tell them that I watched it. But I didn't.
I initially skipped through it in my brain, in the sense that I zoned out.
Well, let me tell you, man, it was just really hard to watch them. Like, I'm glad that I'm talking about it right now because I paused it right on this and why is it that this little girl doesn't look like she's in any kind of pain? I didn't know what was going on until she was like, until she exhaled.
Yeah, me either.
I was like, what is going on? They having a staring contest? Are y'all having a staring contest? That's what I was wondering. And then she exhaled, and I'm like, oh, she's not a good actor either.
Yeah, I mean,
I was trying to just chalk it up. She's a kid, man.
Yeah.
She's a kid. Look,
I'm not.
You're acting. Look, I grew up with the Macaulay Culkins, the Elijah Woods. You know,
it's a lot to ask from a kid actor to have them carry so much of a series. So like
that's true too. But
so I struggle with I'm more criticized like creators and writers and stuff like that. It's like, why involve a child in the story?
No. I totally disagree. Because, like I said, you have the Elijah Woods, you have the Jonah Hills, Jody Hill. You know who I'm talking about. You
Daphne Keens.
Man, come on, bro. Keep on. Like, what's her name? She's about to be Thor now. She's about to be motherfucking
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman, get out of here,
right.
dude. There's plenty of kids that can do that. They just chose this one who can't. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me there's not a kid out there that's actually 10, not some fucking 7-year-old playing a 10-year-old. And they can't do that. I'm just saying, there's just no way you can tell me that. That kid's just not doing a really good job. And I'm not blaming the kid. I'm blaming the casting director or the producer who forced the casting director to hire his best friend's child or his agent's daughter. Because that's clearly what took place here. Some type of nepotism took place here. It was not that this girl beat out a whole bunch of people.
Well, I mean, who knows? Because, it's hard to find. Like, there's a lot more. I dare say that there's a lot more bad actors out there than there are good actors. So it's hard to find good actors. Which is why I always give such big props to Atlanta, because they tend to.
Yeah, I was gonna say those people just sound like they're average or not good at their job, and then because there is that too. People in Hollywood and entertainment in general don't like to admit the fact that you're doing a job, and some people just aren't as good at their job as some other people.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's just how it is, and I think that's just what's happening here. This director isn't as good as the previous directors that we've had in other shows and other movies too, and there's a couple of actors in this show that just aren't as good as other actors are and what we're used to or accustomed to. That's why we have the feeling that they're not good, because they're not doing what we're used to.
Yeah,
that is how you look. And I just want to. That's all I'm gonna say about them is about being bad actresses. But look. That's how you constructively criticize people, y'all. You notice how we didn't say anything about them being female or about them being like a race of any kind.
Right.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ,
nothing
y'all.
to do with
I didn't talk about how I thought they were pretty or not pretty. I didn't talk about their appearance whatsoever. I only criticized their acumen, their performance. That's all y'all got to do. Quit being assholes, man.
Oh, and if you want to hear us talk some shit about some white male characters, wait for Stranger Things. When we talk about Stranger Things, I got some things to say. But we'll get to that in probably in a week or so.
I get to watch it 3 times now.
But yeah. So, like, after Obi-Wan saves Leia, and they escape, Vader's mad. Vader big mad that they got away, but
Reva almost dead. Reva almost big dead. Well, before you get to that, how did you like that scene where he where Obi-Wan stops the water, like he's
oh pew, yeah, pew, that was a cool
pew,
little scene.
Pew, you can't hit me, pew pew. Pew. And it just goes to show you how bad they've gotten. Because remember, young Obi-Wan got to fight the droids. He's like, bing, 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 bing.
Right.
But now we've got these fucking shitty fucking slave troopers. I don't even know why they call them stormtroopers. They're slaves. They're like baby slave babies.
Yeah.
And then they're like retarded
branding,
and shit.
you know?
And they can't shoot for shit. And he's just like not even looking at them at times.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where I was like, why did you stop shooting at him?
He's not even looking at them.
He's turned around and he's...
No, they were still shooting at him when he turned around and he was just missing. Like, he's not even swinging his lightsaber towards you because you are really bad at that.
Yeah, like, there were some, that was just like another, like, spacing moment where I feel like it could have been, framed up a little bit better, maybe, to make it look less... to make it look more impressive. We talked about this a little bit.
No, I thought it wasn't supposed to look impressive. I thought they were going for what I ended up seeing, which is this dude sucks. These guys suck. They're not as good. Like, this is what you're used to. Remember, you haven't seen this in a long time because you've been watching the Clone Wars and you've been seeing, what's that show called? The Clone Show.
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
Yeah.
You've been seeing all that. You've been seeing accuracy. Ain't no accuracy here. It's just pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, they're shooting with their eyes closed.
I bet you they are. Well, that's a good point, Alex. They are scared all the time.
Yeah, maybe there are more people out there like Finn than we thought. Just out there missing on purpose.
They're just holding their shit together. They shoot faster and a lot more than he does.
But yeah, then Reva lets after Obi-Wan escapes, Reva lets Vader know that she put a tracer on Leia's little droid, which I was wondering why she didn't break it. It's a classic villain move to break a kid's toy in front of him.
Or classic villain move, put a tracer on that motherfucking toy.
Yeah, that was a nice little turn. I was not expecting that. And Vader was like, okay, I like that. I'll kill you tomorrow.
Oh, that's some tricky ass shit. That's what he said.
You know I like tricky ass shit, girl.
Now you know that I like some tricky ass shit. Come back to my quarters later and touch my shoulder.
Put your hand on my... I ultimately did really like this episode. I feel like there was like some really nice tension with Tala's character and like with her infiltrating the base. Because sometimes I feel like these shows, whether it be Star Wars or like a superhero show, they kind of drop the ball on making characters without powers interesting. But yeah, they did a good job of showing like how capable this character is and how hard it is for her to do what she's doing, and still be able to pull everything off. So I like that.
She's a strong single woman, and she don't need no man.
I don't take no guff.
But yeah, I am. So I hope she want a man. Yeah. She might not need
Great
one.
song.
She don't need a man, but I hope she wants one.
But yeah, that's what did you like? Yeah, got any final thoughts on this episode or future episodes?
Final thoughts are, I feel like we have a long way to go before we get to where we're going. And I don't know if does this mean we might get a second season? I mean, we got just two episodes left.
Yeah.
And that tells me are we going to have longer episodes?
What is this accent you're doing?
Oh.
Who's this? Why is this?
Am I not supposed to be here?
Who is this?
Well, see, I just came over from Marsh set on the Moonlight. And I felt like I might as well come over here and talk about Star Wars since I'm in Star Wars as well.
This is supposed to be Steven from from Moon Knight.
Just felt like it was nice to come over. You guys doing such a good job.
Oh God. He's like, he was just such a forgettable character. He just had to pop in to make sure that you remembered. It's like, hey, don't forget, Moon Knight did come out this year. That was a show that happened. Moon Knight is show. I'll tell you what.
Moon Knight is show. And also, I hope this show doesn't become show.
Yeah, and
it's kind of why I was doing it, because, there's only 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
We've basically been told we're not getting another Moon Knight. We haven't had it confirmed that we're getting one, but we've basically been told we ain't getting one.
Yeah. They've been slow on the announcements, because I feel like they got
to look at the numbers. Numbers don't come out for this shit like immediately. It's got to make sense. If this doesn't pop off, you're never going to see nothing like this again. So I'm hoping this is not just show.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is... well, where would you rank this so far? Well, actually, I guess we'll wait till we get to the end.
We wait. It's like I'm waiting to make my predictions until the end. I will say the scene where she threw the bomb and blew the dude up, I saw that coming, but it still was cool.
It's funny that the scene where she picks up she forced
the scene where Reva
where Black Reva where she blows up the ship. I thought that was really, really cool. But it was funny because it was preceded by something that was really goofy to me when she was like blocking the blasters from the spaceship with the lightsaber. I was like, I thought that those cannons were supposed to be like way stronger than that. Like I thought that like you wouldn't be able to just block that with the lightsaber. But
I think I've seen Obi-Wan do it before.
I don't know. It seemed really weird.
I will say this: there was 2 of them there. Why wasn't the other dude trying to like block him? He was just trying to let old girl get shot. Like, why ain't you blocking nothing? Nigga, get over here, throw one of these bombs, nigga. Goddamn, nigga, help!
But yeah, you're right. Like,
he just ran out the way.
That was a really cool scene with her like blowing up that spaceship. Really showed like that she ain't no scrub. She actually is a powerful, worthy commander of the Force. I think I don't think that we're gonna get another fight between Vader and Obi-Wan. I think that Reva and Obi-Wan is gonna be like the last big battle at the end. That's my prediction, personally.
That means my prediction is that he'll be cutting down Reva. If that what happens, if he ends up fighting Reva, he's gonna kill her.
Right.
And he'll find out that she was a youngling that he couldn't save. But he was in Coruscant, Coruscant, and didn't save the younglings. And that's why she's mad. Because he wasn't there for her. But she knew he was there.
That'd be a nice twist.
That's what taught her. That's what brought her to the dark side.
That'd be a nice twist. And then like he kind of has to revisit, some of that trauma again. Like, like of not being able to save Anakin.
Right. But he realized, I can't save everybody, baby. I had to save these babies. You see these babies? You see this one right here? See, this is what you see, what you don't understand? I'm out here trying to save this here, right here, because that's when I was able to get out. And see, what is it all worth if I just let her fall to you?
Right. But hopefully, when we get to if we get to that point where he battles Reva and it's kind of a mirror of his situation with Anakin, he'll reach that stage of I guess grief where he accepts that everything that happened with him and Anakin wasn't his fault, and therefore he'll come to this fight with a little bit different perspective. I don't know why I'm
or maybe none of this stuff will happen because maybe we don't know what the fuck we're talking about at all.
Yeah, I just said that. I was like, wait, this actually hasn't happened yet.
Yep. So, look, this is a stupid ass ending too. This director makes bad choices, and let me tell you why. Pacing is everything. Oh my God, we talk about pacing on this show like a motherfucker. Yeah. I feel like a good Star Wars director would have known to cut this way sooner. Yeah. None of this had to be shown like show but don't tell type shit. It was the holding the hands and looking at each other shit was just a little too long. Yeah. It just lingered too long for no reason.
Yeah, like the pacing has definitely been an issue. I don't. It's weird. It's it's been a problem with a lot of these Disney Plus shows, and yeah, this is not an outlier. It's really really weirdly paced. It kind of feels like it could have been a movie, but kind of like an overly long movie.
Maybe
like just story.
Maybe
story
they'll
wise,
just do a movie one day and stop. Like, hey, we'll just do it. This is a movie. We do what Stranger Things does, which I don't know why nobody does this anymore, like at all. Put out a fucking hour and 20-minute episode. Put out an hour episode. Like, have 7 episodes. Dedicate yourself to 7 episodes that you're gonna put out. That's about to be motherfucking 5.
Yeah, like I don't
dedicate yourself to it.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, like, making TV shows is hard, but
you know what I said. I've said it on this show before. Let me say it again because I haven't said it in a while. I still believe they have an agenda to put these on regular TV after they get old. That's why they're still cut for regular TV. That's why the commercial breaks are still there. Like, the spacing for it is for commercial breaks. And I just firmly, vehemently believe there's going to be some Disney Channel release coming up in like 3-5 years, because just like they do the Vault releases. Hey, we're going into the Vault again.
Right.
45 years of Disney.
Yeah, possibly, because like that would make some sort of sense, because it does have like that odd, the theatrical release movie put on cable television pacing.
Yeah, and so I'm telling you, if they not good, nobody's gonna watch them. I've always said that about the comic book movies genre, and I'm saying it with the Star Wars genre as well. Like,
yeah, you gotta
if it's not good, then you're not consistent, nobody's gonna watch it.
Yeah, you gotta make good stuff for people to continue watching. And I mean, yeah. Well, I'm not saying that this is bad. Again, like I really like this episode. But we'll see how it all shakes out.
We reserve judgment. But we liked the second or the third before last episode of Halo 2. Let's just make sure you remember that.
Yeah.
We liked episodes of Halo 2, so there's still a chance we might not like this one. Who knows?
And I'm still excited for Ahsoka, because Filoni be doing his thing, and I'm still excited for Mandalorian's new season, because Bryce Dallas Howard be doing.
I'm telling you, they keep hiring all these amazingly gorgeous crushes of mine from the past as Star Wars characters. They got my money.
But thank you for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so you can get updates on new episodes of the pod and new video essays from yours truly. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, likewise, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all of the internet things at Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little homeless Django Fett clones, and may the force be with you.